Well, howdy there, Super Robot fans. It's been a minute, but welcome back to this playthrough of Alpha. My name's Austin. You're watching the Super Robot Wars Archives. I hope you're having a good whenever. I might be a little slow at the junction because, gosh golly, it feels like it's been forever since I've recorded Alpha. Not the least of which because we missed that Friday episode before we took a break, so... I expect some more sloppy plays than usual. I'm sure it'll be fine. I did take a look at our preparations. That money being held there is on purpose for upgrading the Donkuken. I don't remember if I said this at this point, but I have been through Akarasu a lot during my break trying to organize things. But I do know that is going to get switched into a better attack if we upgrade it now. So I know we were speculating on it at some point, but my speculations were, in fact, correct. But anyway, here's our story. Kaji is telling Shinji about the Ava Unit 4 testing, that it disappeared because of that like big energy engine explosion deal while we're going to the Saotome labs. And in classic like dramatic fashion, before we're able to talk about like who the pilots of the Ava units are, we not only have we arrived at our destination, but also there's a really spooky energy source. I wish I keep saying this. I wish I like had a better grasp of the Japanese here. I wish I like spent some time to translate it. Because on one hand, it is either the Saotome lab itself because of something that could be happening here. Our get arrays are 400 times what their normal ratings are. So like that seems like a pretty spooky energy source. But we need to have some villain show up for this fight. So as we're talking about this, our Ava women are discussing the testing of Ava Unit 3 now, and that's ready for battle, which Misato is just so excited to hear, and is further distressed at the prospect of it being sortied with Londo Bell, and just like how much everyone could be like, no, sorry, we're done protecting the world now. We own it, and just like Londo Bell is so powerful at this point, or like our group in Londo Bell is so powerful at this point that we could like probably blow up the world. And that's a little frightening. I appreciate that the game wants to try and wrestle with that a little bit. I hope we do that a little bit more, because I feel like too often it's the like, cool bros squad, everyone's saving the day, no problems. And, you know, we keep beating all the adversaries that are trying to take over the world. Like, we're pretty spooky. We have to ask it a little bit. But I do feel like a couple more of the shows in this are more serious, where I feel like often we have a lot of like jovial kind of representation, so it makes less sense to talk about like the context of the world, just like world-ending powers so much, you know. But speaking of destruction, our Ava units are not entirely safe. Ava unit, is it 3 or 4? I think it's, yeah. Ava unit 3 has been overtaken. Hold on, let me check. Yes, no, we're still in regular canon. It is Ava Unit 3. I wasn't sure if, like, seeing as these games invent robots all of the time, if we were going to decide to, like, make Ava Unit 4 long ahead of schedule for the purposes of this game. But no, it is Ava Unit 3. That has been, it has been taken over by it's been taken over by something, which Gendo decides to dub an angel now. So it is our job to go and just kill it. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. There probably was worse inside. Who cares? Just kill it. It's a problem, right? It's fine. But he specifically requests that only the Avas get sortied. So he's still clearly like working on. He's still clearly working some angle, and it's one of the few things that we don't know. I remember at the very beginning of this game we were talking about like the value of who's in the know and who is not. We haven't like come back to that conversation in a while. But Gendo is definitely posing a more ideological threat compared to the rest of these more like tangible physical threats. Given how much his plans are into the dark. I mean, like, you could know through having watched the show or make some educated guesses, but with the text that the story has given us so far, it's one of the few pieces of data that we don't actually have someone on the inside to tell us about. In true Shinji fashion, the adults are like, "Don't worry about it, Shinji. We can handle this." And Shinji's like, "You know what I'm feeling right now? Worried." And he is uncertain as to why, especially given this like whole group of people, why they have to fight on their own. Daisaku, being just the sweetest little boy that he is like, so why? Hold on, don't we have guys in the Saotome lab? Isn't the Saotome lab also kind of like at risk here? Aren't the Getter Raves like kind of, or the Getter energy kind of like spooky? Shouldn't we like care about saving people? Like, isn't that our job? And it is nice to see that like Banjo, who is also I think one of the older members, he's one of the older protagonists, right? He's like obviously not like the pensioners, but I recall him being somewhat older, I think. But at the very least, he is framed as being an old hat with this. So him being a like veteran and Daisaku being a newbie, and both the two of them being like, yeah, we're kind of dubious of what Gendo's doing right here. Having those two voices sort of like bookend our entire group is a really nice touch. Ooh, he be squatting. All right, this is some forced combat. Let's see what this looks like. I'm not really like, it's hard to have a full mechanical understanding of any unit without having to like finish the game even once. But I've been pretty impressed with the visuals of most of these Ava units so far. Like, this is like as spooky, this is appropriately spooky compared to like how the like styling of the game can be. Like you can only make Super Deformed so scary looking, but that was like, you know, that was like appropriately horrifying for what the 13th Angel is supposed to be. We just do a second time. This feels a little unnecessary, but we did there a second time that like who is the angel, who's the pilot of this angel. All right, what are we working with? We have no parts, an AT field and an HP regen small, pretty standard. They don't cast anything in this. That's fine. I don't remember what any of our stat values, or like what any of the stats that we batter are, and it's a 1 to 5. Okay. So we're going what? Hold on. We're gonna go here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we have a 5 range attack now? I know we got more attacks. I didn't really like think about it. Yo, 2 to 11. Oh, right. But Shinji has no morale because of how distressing it was to. Like, Asuka just got kind of taken out, and also, like, no one's telling him anything, so he's down in the dumps. That's fine. Okay. We can line up Rei. Where did we say it was? It's here, and then 1, 2, 3. I think here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can go in that square. And we should have range on the 13th Angel. While we are here, it has low morale. We can just daunt. No, don't disconnect. No. Yeah, we can daunt 2 times, and that still gives us 2 focuses. Just like do this and get the AT field off. I think that's probably a good choice. If you've played this game before and you see me doing this, you also know what my future choice is going to be. We're going to get a choice in this upcoming turn, and you know what? I guess Shinji being there, Shinji can do something, right? Can he? Oh, maybe he can't actually do anything. Hold on. Okay. Let's then put him behind Rei. And then he can maybe move in. We usually don't want him to accidentally be the one that the 13th Angel targets. Yes, and perfect. We want animations on. I want to see this. Okay. But yeah, based on what I'm doing here, if you know what the choices are going to be later, you know what choice I'm going to be making. I think this is the first time I've got an interesting choice in one of these, like, pick the right dialogue prompt option. We're actually choosing between 2 things rather than just choose the right thing. All right, T-Field can stop this. Yeah, great. Perfect. I wish we got to use these things more. It's, like, probably fair of them to want to relegate a lot of these to cutscenes such that you don't have access to their, like, stupid, like, defense. But it would be nice to like get to. I feel like we are 2/3 of the way through the game, and I feel like I'm still just like kind of getting the feel of how these units are getting used in battle. Like I feel like we've invested into so little. I feel like we've gotten to use so little because so many of these missions are cutscenes. Gendo is gonna sass Shinji for not fighting at his full force, but like, A, boy was not in range. Like, what do you want me to do, Gendo? And B, like, he's got low morale. Check the stats, buddy. So we are going to okay, we're gonna get 2 options. Gendo has told us to attack the angel. or we can choose to not attack the angel. If we do not attack the angel, we get 2 expert points. If we do attack the angel, we get another character. So weirdly, I'm going to opt not to get the expert points, largely because we also have enough to get anything we need. We need 45 at the end of the game, and we have, well, I think we've got 44. We might have 43. I don't remember. We're pretty close, though. We'll be fine. And I feel like no one's going to complain if I, like, choose to get all of the characters we possibly can. So let's punch Bardiel a new one and unlock ourselves another Ava unit later. I know that feels a little silly considering I said, like, I'm not going to use all the Ava units we are using, but I'd rather just be able to look at all the characters at the very least. Like, let me decide that I'm not going to use that one or, like, not replace them with what we're already doing. Okay. The Goraon can't even attack. That's so lame. Okay. We can focus. My worry if we do this is, will Bardiel attack Ray again? Because we would like this to be both attacks. I don't know if it's going to choose to move because it already has someone in range. It already has Ray in range and is already using its best attack. We'll see. We can probably get it to half here. I don't. The text description, the translation, is very unclear, which I don't mind. This is certainly not a complaint. It's very unclear about how this mission is wrapping up. Whether this is like after the fight is done or after a certain number of turns, we will have to like do something. I'm curious if we're gonna get other units to show up or whether this is going to be like just the Ava show. We don't have. You know what? We could Valor this. We have enough SP, and I think we might just be fighting Bardiel this time. There's no reason for us to dodge. We will just AT. Oh, nope, there is. Shoot. Right, we don't have him around, which means our AT field is also off. Oh, no. Okay. See, I told you I was going to scrub out. Surely can't do that much damage, right? Yeah, this was turbo not worth it. And I'm not surprised, right? We are doing 25% less damage than we were supposed to. Well, it's even worse than that. Like, it's earlier on in the equation, too. Oh, that's our whole health bar. Okay. Totally fine. Totally everything, it's all fine. Wow, golly, I wonder what happened here. Oh no. I wanted to see. So I know that the Ava unit can go berserk at a point. I'm curious if we are allowed to do it outside of when we were told it's supposed to, or this is just like the game over cutscene we always get if this happens. Curious. Let's see. Yeah, so there is a specific point where I know we're supposed to let the Ava unit get killed. I don't know what that point is. I also don't even know what happens when we do it. I don't know why I have this piece of data, but I think maybe it's true in all games. But I do know that if we let the Ava unit go down, it's like we unlock a secret. I'm curious if this happens here too. Like, is it stuck to just that scenario, you know? Fascinating. This does not feel like a game over. I also wonder if this still lets us get the secret character. Unfortunately, none of this dialogue is translated for me because I don't think they were expecting this to happen in this mission. Yeah, all of this is, I don't have like a good reference point for this. Daisaku and Banjo have like no more translated lines as far as the guide goes. That feels like a pretty easy way to interpret that L is like distressed at the prospect of the like power that's happening here. Oh no, the getter's destroyed. Whatever we're going to do. The getter gets so many nice cutscenes. This is such a slow pan. There it is. Look at it. I'm so happy. This is so, it's so sick. It's so menacing. I feel like if you like don't know about Getter, you would like very easily believe that we'd have to go, like this is a boss fight we need to go deal with right now. Show me the Shin Getter. There it is. Okay, so maybe this is a little bit, maybe this is a little bit more scripted than I thought it was. Bunjo says that he was going to sortie to like deal with this problem right before the Shin Getter launched, but we get a call in from our boys, and they're fine. I mean, they're a little worse for wear, but even Satome's still alive. He is glad that he set them to 1/10 of their power. So we're still rocking and rolling. They had absorbed all the power from the proto getters that were in the Getter lab, but they are perfectly capable of fighting. It's going to be taxing on them, but they can definitely do it like right now for us and like solve this problem that we've caused. But evidently, we can. Hold on, where's the? Yeah. So the Shin Getter tells our Getter team that the Stoner Sunshine can burn away the evil of the angels, which is quite the choice. It's so much energy. You know what? I believe that it would do this much damage. I think we can probably get it to do this much damage in real life. I think we might use the Shin Getter a bit. We never get to use the Shin. We never get to. I never use Getters. Not for their lack of quality, though, mind you. Oh man, this is so short, especially because I'm going to do some editing here. We're probably going to tack another episode onto this. We'll see. And we're done. Everyone is super impressed by their accomplishments, except for the Getter pilots who are like, ooh, yikes. We sure just annihilated that thing in one hit, and we were not even using full power. Oh, it takes all of our money. Okay, that's a shame. But yeah, no, I do, like, I did want to try and sack the Getter there to see what was going to happen. I'm curious if that, like, unlocks things, or whether because of how we did that, did we scrub out on both secrets? I'm curious. I'm also curious how many times we get to do that. There's one time where you are forced to. I feel like I played this prank one time already earlier, but that is forced for the story. That is not like a bonus thing you get to do. I wonder though if the Getter or the Ava 1. Sorry, all those last things were supposed to be Ava. I wonder if this happens with the Ava 1 every time you lose with it, that it's an auto like win the scenario button if it's just like basically on easy mode. At the cost of a lot of money. I'm curious. But I figured I wanted to experiment. The team sort of debriefs about what happened with the Shin Getter. Saotome had made the Proto Getters with the like intention of getting the Shin Getter to absorb them because it needs a lot of power to like start it up the first time. But it was not expecting the Shin Getter to like explode in doing that. It eventually did absorb all of the power, which is why we've like dropped back down to like regular radiation. I mean, Getter levels, and that's what like the little laser beams were going into it during that cutscene. But he sort of expected to be a little bit more organized. I guess he does not know a lot about Getter to expect it to be like nice and tidy. But everyone wonders whether it's like actually like safe or like what the heck this thing is. Like that's like too spooky. That's too much power. Is this some sort of like God-given metal flesh? Is it like the devil come to curse everyone? And you know, like it just saved everyone right now. Getter has saved people before, but like, are we now at the point to mirror Misato, what Misato was asking before? Are we now at the point where we are no longer saving as much as we are destroying? Finally, at long last, Shinji gets told who the pilot was, and that Toji, his friend from school, Well, I was in the Ava Unit 3. Shinji is like deeply distressed why his father would have him attack, as if his father has ever cared about like anything about Shinji, let alone how personal like a friend is. But here we are. Rei instead. Is it Rei? Yeah, Rei. I would assume Asuka, but Rei slaps Shinji for like being too emotional or something because we can't let this boy feel his feelings. Yeah, Kaji says that if the Shin Getter had not shown up, that Shinji would have died. So like sometimes the nature of their work, not that Shinji opted into it, is he opted into under duress. Is that like sometimes these things are like required, like these things are forced, like this is the way things have to be. But fortunately, some in quotes, everyone from Nerve is fine, and Toji is also going to live if after being sent back to a hospital for some observations in the meantime. But our work is never done, and Commandant General Igor, this man radios in to let us know what's happening from the other route splits, and that not only have the Jupiterians begun their attacks, but also any conversation with the Neozeons have basically fallen through. But they did stop the colony drop, so like major immediate concerns gone. So we're all going to regroup. We are headed back to which base is it? I don't remember which base it is. Maybe it's the IPO Peking base with Ginrei and Daisaku, but we have a Grungus to go pick up, which is exciting, and we also need to send Daisaku and Ginrei back for some maintenance. I know what will happen with Ginrei, but I wonder what will happen with Daisaku. I'm curious. Look at all of our not money. I admittedly did not expect to get cashed out that way. Like I should have, like, I don't know why I didn't think that the destruction of the Ava unit was going to cost us money. I should have assumed so. I guess I sort of thought if the Berserk one went down, we would have lost the money, but I also kind of thought we were going to get to take turns as the Berserk one, which is not true. Where is the Ava unit? Oh, it's not here. That's interesting. Okay, I wanted to look at it to see if it actually said on there. I kind of thought it said 0 because it switches to the Berserk unit, but that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, so we are off. We have finished our route split. We are off to technically another route split, but it's a route split between Real and Super, so it's already been decided for us. And I'm very excited for the next scenario. But before we get there, let's take a look at our new Shins. I wish I had the point of comparison for the other previous units. If I was better at editing or I had more time, I could like line them up. But it's definitely a tanky boy now. We definitely have some. I love them having HP regen small. That's so good. I feel like I play faster and looser with separating them. I wonder if they can separate. We do have the Shinmok special, so we have like a free dodge. Not that I ever go into any of the other getter units though. Okay, we've kept upgrades. That makes sense to me. I feel like some of the old games, when you switched forms like that, they did not keep their upgrades, which is a bit of butts. Okay, the Stoner Sunshine being 100 energy is so honkin' expensive, but even Shine Spark, you're only getting 2 Shine Sparks. Yeah, the getter in this is just so energy hungry. Can these separate off into? Yes, they can. We definitely want to try it. Yeah, you get to play as these. That's so fun, and they also have HP regen. That's good. Cool. I am excited to try those out, but we will have to save that for next time, or maybe this time. This says a half hour. There's no shot this was a half hour. I had plenty of time to break. You know what? I'll see you right back here in a second for scenario number 2 of this video. I'll beat you in a minute. Hi. Okay. Let's keep rocking. I feel like I've not gotten to play enough video games yet. This is going to be a very story dense mission, which is one of the reasons why I was excited. I would like to start seeing some of this stuff pay off, and based on the fact we're getting a new Grungust, I think we're gonna get to see it. So the head of the not the giant robo group, Chujo, is talking to Shu, who I just thought was a villain. I didn't think we were going to be like having peaceful conversations with him, but that's fine. They are talking about the new power source for the Grungust and whether or not they're going to be able to like actually deploy it in a meaningful way. Up till now, only Ingram has been able to use the Tronium engine to its full power, I guess, as far as they know. I wonder if Brooklyn is being accounted for in that. Like, I can't remember what engines everything uses. We've thrown around so many buzzwords that I'm like not familiar with. I'm sure I'll pick it up once we like play OGs. But I can't remember if our Grungust right now has a Tronium engine or not, and whether Brooklyn's being included in this assessment of its efficaciousness. But the team sort of tries to figure out what Ingram's plan was. It seems like there was some sabotaging here. Both the Huckabine Mark 1, its testing was sabotaged. It was not an accident that it got like something went wrong, self-destructed, the base blew up. Something bad happened with the testing. And that maybe it wasn't like they got attacked, but that the machine was sabotaged internally by a fault of the design of it. And then the group sees the potential for Ingram to want to keep the Aerogator technology seeming superior to Earthling technology. I'm not sure why, because I'm also like not perfectly keeping track of whose technology is what, like what part of the Huckabine or what part of the Grungust are Earth tech. Like, I know some of this stuff is using EOT, but at what point does it stop being alien if we've like modified it enough or like we've like worked on it enough? I don't know. But I also kind of forgot that Ingram is still technically with the Aerogators. I guess I know him to be somewhat of a hero through my like brief time with OGs on my own before stream. Like when I played it like 2 or 3 years ago. So I was surprised to remember that. I was surprised to be recalled to me that he is an Aerogator, or he's like a member of their group. I definitely lost the thread here too. There's a lot of that sort of anime, like he said, she said, why isn't it very interesting? Obviously this means this, without like really explaining very much. So like that last conversation was a little bit lost on me. Not the least of which being because I'm not reading like all of the words. But the last important concluding moment is that she was also headed to the Far East base again. Theoretically because of Ingram, but he's trying to play it off cool, just like, nah, I just happen to need to go there. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it too hard. And our poor little lost boy is back. Masaki just caught up to where Shu was at the base right as he was leaving. So we got a little like back and forth between his cats about like whether Shu knew or not, or whether there was like whether he was playing possum. But still no dice for Masaki. I suspect it's probably going to take till like the last mission for us to resolve that. But we are here for our upgrades. Ginrei gets a direct upgrade now from Ginrei Robo 1 to Ginrei Robo Type 2. A very original naming scheme that she is loath to compliment. So Daisaku then goes, well, you called me back too, right? Doesn't Giant Robo get an upgrade now? And they're like, no, you're just a kid. You're such a brat. Like, don't think that you're like entitled to this. You're nothing without the robot. And he's like, yeah, that's why I want the robot to get upgraded, right? Like, I understand where my power is. Like, I understand like what my role in this is. It's been helpful. Like why are we not getting upgrades? And the chief tells him that, in fact, worse than that, they would like the giant robo to be off limits, that Daisaku's not going to get deployed anymore. And he is like obviously distressed. Like, he has like such a like want for justice and a belief that like he can pay himself in order to try and solve some of these problems. But the team tell him that like things are getting too dangerous now. Like, the world is at stake, and he's like, yeah, that's why I want to help. And they're like, no, we get it, but I can't decide if this is like in earnest or whether this is sort of just like trying to like pay lip service and like feed him a story that will convince him. But they say that because everything is so dangerous and because it's very easy for like the whole team to get taken out. Like if Londo Bell gets annihilated in one fell swoop because of like a big satellite attack, you know, there needs to be some people who are left to fight in case they do get taken out. I never loved these arguments. It always felt such a cop out to me because like theoretically having an extra like fighting member on the front lines would be more likely to stop them from getting taken out. But I guess in this case where we're dealing with things where it's like the group could just die because something sudden happens that's like not fight backable, like I do kind of get it. Oh, right. Also, sorry, in the middle there, Daisaku does wonder if one of the reasons he's like having his robot taken away is because it was made by Big Fire, the villains from Giant Robo, and that is not the reason, but he does keep wondering why his father, A, built Giant Robo at all, but why he built it with Big Fire. And he sort of wonders out loud, hoping to get a response, but he does not. Ginrei then comes to comfort him to be like, yeah, no, like, everyone, if anyone is lashing out at you, it is because they are jealous. Like, they understand that, like, what you're doing is important, and they kind of, like, they resent the fact that they are adults and do not have the same kind of power that you do. And, like, you are important. You have been doing a lot of work. Like, please don't let them get you down. You have been contributing to the team. Like, that's not the reason why this is happening. Like, they even said that. Regardless of whether they're doing so in a way that is, like, constructive or destructive to you, like, they do still mean well. Looks like I was right that we were also going to Peking for the Grungust upgrade. So now we get to do this whole song and dance with Brooklyn also. He asked if his upgrades are ready, and they're like, well, technically not really. The tritium engine doesn't actually work yet. So, like, why did we come here? But that's fine. Robert, the guy on the right, is working with Eddie, the scientist who's doing some research on this. And they think they might have an answer. A, this is a two-seater kind of mech. Well, I wonder who the other person's going to be. But also, more importantly, we saw two quite powerful robots that I didn't suspect I suspected we were going to see a little bit more often in this game. The Ryuoki and the Kooki, the dragon and tiger mechs, respectively. And if we remember back to when we fought them, we did T-Link with them, and that has given Eri some promise for what their use could be. In fact, they are not actually these like weapons of destruction that we thought they were. They're actually like protectors of the city. They're sort of golem-esque in their way. And they were not able to be fully controlled by Dr. Hell or Big Fire because they had hearts of evil, and like the fact that Brooklyn could T-Link with them is evidence that perhaps there is some way to like incorporate them onto our side. There is a way to use them for our purposes of protecting the world. And a like sincere heart, one that theoretically Brooklyn possesses, might be the key to unlocking them. And that might be the key to working with the Grungust Mark III, Type 3, the third, and the full power of the tronium engine. I'm not sure why we equate these things because they're just fully different, but Brooklyn is apprehensive about this because he wasn't able to T-Link with his significant other, Kuzuha? Yeah, Kuzuha, and convince her with his mind powers. But like, these are also like kind of robots. They might have a soul, but I'm not sure why those things are directly related, other than just we need to like get a convo about the SO in here so that we can be like, oh, I wonder who the second pilot's going to be. Oh, right. Also, these machines are also honking old. They are like 12,000 years old. So everyone's really surprised that their technology is this advanced now that they've got like more time to like, look into them. And it makes all of the modern tech that we're working with like really seem insignificant if they are both this complicated and sophisticated and also this ancient. But they do sort of have to believe in it now, not only because we've fought them and we've interacted with them. But did you stop? It's a different klaxon every time. But the Raideen is also approximately that amount of years old too. And it clearly works perfectly well. And it can like talk to Akira. So, you know, it's this, all of these seem within parameters of everything else we know about the world so far. So let's try it. And just at that moment, because we also have to like try to pay off everything immediately as soon as we do it, we have one of the Big Fire fabulous Magnificent 10 show up to challenge the fact that Daisaku does not have the giant robo anymore. This man's name is Fitzcarl, And he tells Daisaku that he could probably get a robo or the giant robo out if he wants, but only if he wants it in 2 pieces. Ha 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 ha. Also, sorry, it's not Fitzcarl, it's Fitzcarraldo. I forgot. There's another word at the end there. Our French spy samurai friend comes in to save the day, but gets a bit roughed up. And let's see our deploys. This is barely anything. We'll be fine, I'm sure. Ooh, and look who we have back. Right, Baron Asura is also here to grab the two OG scientists. Oh, right. Okay. So remember like 5 or 10 minutes ago when I said I was like really confused about Ingram? I confused him with I haven't read their names in a hot minute. Everything I said about Ingram before, that makes total sense about Ingram. The guy who was like running the SRX project that really abused us. I was conflating his name with I was like, this doesn't make sense about at all. What are we talking about? But no, we're fine. We're fine. So he is defecting. We kind of saw that before anyway. But now like things seem official. He has our SO in tail. Our SO is with him, and he is trying to make sure that she does not get recaptured and that she needs to make contact with Brooklyn and the Grungust. And they are combined the only way to stop Ingram's plans and the Arrogators and like help both like support the SRX project, but also if the SRX project does get controlled by Ingram, the only thing that could stop them. We also theoretically, Ingram has basically all but confirmed that we were both raised from a young age for the purposes of being turned into sort of like living war machines. So I wish we would have seen a little bit more of an implication of like Brooklyn having a kind of weird childhood rather than just like boy off the street. Okay, he's really cool now. But it does seem like we had a past history of like sort of being experimented on for the purposes of making us like telepathic this way. Oh, this is different than how the text read. Okay. So I guess the giant robo is unsealed. We have the rest of the experts fighting off the Magnificent 10 by hand. Sad we can't see it. They're really cool. They're really cool action scenes in the actual anime. But they are partially here right now also to capture the Ginrei Robo. Not the least of which because it is powerful, but because also it will compromise Daisaku. Oh, yes, this robot. Right, his title is Dazzling. This is the Dazzling Cervantes. And he's going to be kind of one of our bosses for this scenario. Daisaku is prepared to fight like everybody else has been, as if that was like ever in question. This was a very weird moment for this game. I think this comes off way better in the anime. But like Daisaku has to like show his resolve, but like that was never in question. They were like trying to stop him for a different reason, but that's fine. The Ginrei Robo Type 2, from the map, it looks way closer to one of the Mazinger bots, which I'm sure it's probably inspired by. We have a bee in the air. This is one of the few it seems like we've had so far, so we got to get her on the ground if at all possible. But otherwise, it looks like more of the same, just with like slightly higher stats. So, down you go. I guess Masaki's here also because he was at this base because he thought Shu was here. Are these controllable? No, they are not. We should look at our objectives. We have the usual defeat all enemies, and then either if Brooklyn or Kuzuha die, then it's game over for us. Looks like we have a objective. We have a cutscene in a scenario or a mission or two. Turn or two. Gracious. So let's just hit some stuff for now. See where that puts us. But I kind of thought we were going to have to worry about things landing on the base, but turns out no, we are totally fine that way. You come over here. And let's put Masaki roughly in the middle to address wherever things are going to show up. And that should be good for us for now. Great, easy, great. Sad we don't get the money from that, but that's fine. Once again reiterates to Kuzuha that she needs to go to the base and meet up with Brooklyn as if he's not like right there. Oh, right, I forgot. There's some tension that happened earlier that because she attacked Brooklyn before, she's like unable to face him, and Erm's like, nah, fam, it's okay. Like, we're people, we change. If you like believe now that your love is strong, if you believe now that you like want to be together, like that's good enough. Like you can reconnect. Like that's totally okay. Which is a good message. He doesn't say it exactly that way, but I'm shorthanding in a way to remove the like whatever era this game came out isms. The heart is there, the spirit's there. And yeah, let's just take these things down as fast as possible. We like finally get to use the Grungust at least a little bit. Everything's moving in. Perfect. That's great. Do we have... We could morale up to 2 map attack. That seems a little unnecessary, though. I think we can probably handle this without. I am tempted to Spirit on Daisaku, though, because this is unlocking a lot of stuff. Like, we're level 43 with him. Is that a normal level? What? Is Daisaku really high or really low? I don't remember. Oh, he is a very high level. Okay. Okay, I guess we must have killed something. We must have killed a boss with, like, a cheer or a gain on. Do we want to will Spirit 2 more times? I don't think so. That's 80. That leaves us with 34 left. I don't think that that's a good choice. We also want to... I probably actually didn't need to use that spirit. I am realizing. I guess let's go here. We will put a bullseye on it and attack there. Though that said, let's see how much we can gain through let's see how much we can gain through killing other enemies for like morale boost. But I also want to see if we can can we talk to these two? No, we cannot. We're 2 in the middle of the fight. We can't. We have no idea who's around us. Okay, that's fine. Let's go over this way. Then this is probably all we need. Then I'm going to have the Ginrei Robo. Oh, that's a shame. Okay. Never mind. You know what? Given what just happened there, I do think we're going to have the Psybuster map attack them. I was thinking we were going to be able to take out that... oh, that hits allies too. I forgot about that. We could do this. Okay, so we could attack here, map these whole things. I was gonna have the Ginrei Robo punch one of these too. I was hoping that Brooklyn was gonna be able to take out this one by himself, but that is not what happened actually. I just feel like it's unlikely. You know, we're gonna fire this way. I think it's unlikely that the Ginrei Robo or the Giant Robo are gonna actually be terribly affected by this. Or maybe this is also like ally neutral. I don't remember. Let's see. There's definitely some quality of life features that I appreciate having now. But I suspect remembering them, if you were like only playing this game, like if you'd like take notes on it, probably would be better. Oh, okay, sure, that'll work. Then we can we have all of this like free energy sitting here from the base. We can just fly him back next turn. Seems good. then that's mostly dead. Okay, we don't even need to heal. And I wanted to try and get like a convincing heal target for Ginrai type 2, but it seems like we don't need to. Oh, we did not have enough morale for this. Maybe that is different. Maybe that didn't need morale last. Maybe that didn't require morale last time. Okay, so never mind. She's not doing anything really meaningful. I think we're just gonna call it here. That's fine. Yeah, I can't tell if the Psy-Flash ignores allies or just missed the 2 Huckabins because they have the Huckabines because they have such high avoid. Is this an attack? Not even know the enemies went yet. The like patterns in this game are so strange. Okay. Oh, look, and there they are. Yeah, so Big Fire is here to try to unlock the 2 Chinese robots, the dragon and oh boy, the dragon and the tiger. Right, Brocken brings in his reinforcements because he's also invested in like testing this project. Maybe he's like the one that's more spearheading it, specifically from the Dr. Hell side of things. We were told earlier that things with T-Link tend to draw other things with T-Link to them. So Kuzuha is planning on trying to like draw as many enemies to her as possible and like take them down and get like let everyone else escape, as if we're like struggling at all. But Masaki and Brooklyn figure out somehow that she is planning on doing this, so they would like to try and stop that from happening. The Tiger Mech gets sicked on her. I'm assuming probably destroying the Succubin. I also imagine that the dragon's gonna split up and have to fight us. Yeah, not surprising. Warns us. Is it or is it Robert? I think it is Robert, actually. Yes. Robert tells us not to fight back, though, because if we do, we are going to activate the Uranus system. Oh, right. Brocken also, like, sasses us for being, like, useless and how much we also don't need Kuzuha. They don't need Kuzuha for their plan. Yeah, so because we think our SO is dead, we go out to try and avenge Kuzuha. But Robert says, like, be careful. You're going to activate the Uranus system, which is a system I don't remember having before. I don't remember us talking about that. But it's also been a hot minute, both from me playing this and also since we've had a, like, Brooklyn relevant stage. But that will, like, do a number on both our machine and our body, and we'll be able to handle it. And it's, like, basically giving up the fight already. And look, we held on by just a shred. 2%. And we were prepared to attack there, but like as the machine came in, our robot suddenly stopped responding. But now the dragon and the tiger are also not responding. And the Uranus system has turned on and we have linked with something. I wonder what. But yeah, so our T-Link is with these two. The Kyoryu is sorry, not Kyoryu. Ryuoki. That's Kyoryu is just something entirely different. No GGG here. Yeah, so Ryuoki connects with us and tells us that our attack is significant. Well, that attack we just had was significant enough to awaken its true power, or to begin awakening its true power. But given that we flash back and forth between Kuzuha a lot, we need the actual power of someone else to unlock their 5-fold powers. But that they have enough psychic power between him and his SO to be able to actually properly control everything. I wonder if we're allowed to separate these out. That's always my question. This is so cool. I really had assumed that they were going to be like weapons we were going to get, not necessarily the bots. I'm confused how I thought we were told we were getting the Grungus Type 3, but like that theoretically makes it sound like we have it in base, unless this is just not the Grungus Type 3, this is something else. Sick. So cool. I wonder if the Phoenix and the Turtle will show up at all, and if they're going to be the real version of this, or maybe just like a parallel super for this also. But like we have only still half of the directional beasts of Chinese mythology, so I wonder if the other two are going to show up at some point. I recall a while back, probably like episode 10 or 12, when we discussed these before. We had talked about, I think Cam had put it in the comments for us, whether the other two are going to be around or not. And do we change forms? Is this a form changer? I wonder if we'll see the other half of them, because it feels weird to introduce two elements that are like very clearly part of a group. Yeah, so now that we've just done one of the most impressive transformation sequences in this game, Bracken and Asura are absolutely losing their minds. But our scientists are impressed by our capabilities, and unfortunately, Big Fire was like, "Yes, all according to Keikaku." So we'll for sure have to deal with them later. I'm glad that we're stacking up Big Fire to be a little bit more of a villain rather than sort of like one-off, just monster of the week. We need new bosses. But despite the fact that we were in a mech together, our lovebirds are like, we'll talk about this later. We need to fight now, which is like very so standard shonen, but I love it so much. Yo, our rocket punch is bonkers. I'm so glad we put all the investments into these too early on now. I'm so happy. We're only getting a payoff for the last third of the game, but who cares? This is so sick. We're definitely gonna show off all the attacks if we can. So our new mech is called the Ryuko, which in fact is why we did not have. That's the confusion with the Grungus happening there. Look at all of this stuff. We only get 3 of these, but so what? Let's take a look at it. Yeah, so the Ryuko is manned by Brooklyn, but Kusuha can switch it into the Koryu-O, which is the tiger form then. It's using like the tiger dragon king, and then what, dragon tiger king is I think what those names are translating to. It's like a very brief film, very quickly. I'm so curious how the tiger side works then too. So we probably can't separate, but we get 2 forms, and I'm still happy with that. We are also like we're really. A lot of our attacks have been very safe so far, like visually speaking, and I kind of understand why, because we are pulling out all of the stops to make this thing look sick. We do so much damage too. Why? I wonder if like Kusuha also has the psychic power, and if both of those are like activating at the same time. This is just like so overkill. This is so overkill. In a way that is very reflective of like how yeah, we'll just keep going down the list. It's very similar to the Dankugar in how overkill it is. Like we don't have any of the like aggressive beast type spirits, or maybe we, or not spirits, skills. Maybe we do, maybe I don't know. But we sure are putting out damage without really needing to try. I wonder what this is gonna look like when we put like a Valor on. I mean, like I'm gonna double away. It like as cool as I am, like I'm like definitely hyped in the moment. I do think to tamp things down for a second. The fact that it takes 2/3 of the game to get to this point is pretty rough, and we have seen the Grungust's like combat capabilities. Even in full upgrades, it was like not putting up a lot of work because of how many aerial-based enemies there were and how hard of a time we have doing anything significant in the air. Like its plane form is just so garbage. Okay, well, seeing as this is free, let's just fire this back. Oh, we have counter too. Of course we do. What else could we possibly do? Let's not burn through all of our energy yet, seeing as we have a whole list of other attacks to spend, and I would like to get to see those too. We're also probably not going to kill it with this, so like, yeah, we can still have these. Is that 5 spaces away? 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 5 spaces away. Okay, cool. Nice of them to also like program them to like want to target the new unit, despite the fact that it's going to like Shrek them. Just so we get to like see how cool and fantastic it is. Yeah, this one's probably gonna be pretty easy now. I have to imagine. I do get why they don't want it to be like a base protecting mission, right? Because like this is supposed to be the like victory lap show off the new robot. So I get it. Okay. Let's see where things are. Good golly. This is so cool. It's a lot less HP than I thought it was going to, but it certainly makes up for that in HP regen small and having like probably a pretty that's a pretty big deal of defense for this point. For this game. I feel like we have a lot more energy back than I thought we were going to. Yeah, right? Like, I wonder if our psychic powers are taking effect 2 times here. Like, if both of them are contributing to damage, which could be why we're doing so much damage. Okay, cool. That's actually, like, 125 mobility is also, like, a respectable amount of mobility. This is just, like, good in general. I mean, like, I recognize the reason why being, oh boy, my favorite character. The reason why, because we invested into it heavily, but yeah, so this is the slightly more dodgy version. Cool. Oh yeah, it just has like a whole, dude, there's so many options. This thing is like an absolute house. We do have a lot of close range attacks though. Like that's definitely a bit of a disappointment. I'm not surprised though. Yeah, so our dragon form has more long range, which makes sense to me. We can also fly. That makes good sense. And now, I'm so happy. Where's its health though? Its health is so low compared to how we had to fight it before. Okay, so we can fire this off with Kusuha. Grab back into the dragon. Yeah, no, this thing is an absolute menace. I wonder if we have upgrade points into this already. We must. Like, surely the Grungus lets this get inherit. Like, it inherits it over. That's bonkers. I mean, like, that was not a ton of damage, but, like, that was alarmingly accurate and surprisingly competent for being the, like, not good attack, right? Now we get to take the real turn still. I think we can... I feel like even moving it up is, like, almost overkill. Like, we don't... nah, I'm not trying to have fun with this. Let's just end up there and call it a day. 2 spirit pools also. I'm so curious how this, like, there's so many pilots like this could like operate with also. I have so many questions now, which will probably all ultimately not even be worth it. Like, analyzing this game feels like such a, like, almost such a fool's errand given how cinematic it is, right? Like, there's just so much stuff that is so fixed that, like, you know what, probably anybody could do good at this because its numbers are just so juiced. I wish we could see how much Cervantes, what he was working with, because it'd be really nice to be able to one-shot him. I think it'd be pretty sick neato. But we don't have a scan, so instead let's use. Oh right, this is also a soul. Let's use our heart then instead. I know this is literally the worst way to do this, but I want to believe. Oh, we need accuracy too. That would be such a shame if this whiffed. Here we can use with Brooklyn also. Like, this is not good tactics. This is not good tactics, but this is good spirit, and that's what I want. You saw how much damage we were doing, right? We were doing 10k with 3,000 power. Like, I know he's supposed to be like a tanky boy or whatever, but we've been set up to believe that we can win this fight. The Ryuko-O also has higher damage than the Koryu-O. I mean, at worst, we wasted a fortune, which is fine. This thing is so cool. I hope we get this in OG also. This is what I was hoping for out of OG Saga, and not just, like, constant Huckabin forms. No, we're fine. Yeah, I don't know why. See, this is why you gotta play with heart. We, like, almost... Actually, I think we didn't need to double that. Yeah, we didn't need to double that. Incredible. Oh no, right, no. We used we used a soul. So that was we need to use a spirit somewhere in there. But we got look at the new parts. Oh yeah, how many part slots does this have? Oh, it doesn't have any parts on it now because we like switched over. We'll have to put parts on it too. Right, this thing is so dumb. Oh man, I love it so much. I mean, like it's like such an auto win button, and like I'm fine with that. Especially given how this game has been going, I'm fine with just, you know, we'll embrace the big numbers. I don't have to be as like math crunchy about this game. It'll be fine. That did take a considerable amount of our energy, but I also don't think that's going to matter very much. We get what? We get 20% back here. Yeah, we'll be fine. And we also have enough, like, we have powerful enough costless attacks that will be cool. We can let the Huckabins finish these off. These are probably going to be worth practically no money to us anyway. Oh, interesting which side of the map he is on. Oh, that's also not the health that I thought the thing we were attacking. Okay, never mind. I thought he was the one at like a third health. Yeah, he's totally fine. At 9,400 HP. A Huckabin with 9,400 HP? Like, surely not. Don't run away from me, coward. Protecting Masaki. This is not the best. Yeah, we may have sacked Masaki here by accident. We'll try and dodge the rest of these. That's fine. Whoops. Oops, whoops. I definitely thought I put a focus on him before I sent him over, but I forgot to do that. This is what I meant. My brain is not here. We're too high on the power of the Ryuko-O. That's probably going to cost us a good chunk of change, but that's okay. Okay, think through everything, please, for the life of me. Let's deal with this first. Yeah, this is fine. We're gonna save the Valor for probably next turn when we're hoping to get the full power attack, and we can save the Valor for that. But I'll check numbers better in a second. But there's no reason to now because like this is going to be our attack. We could maybe hit it with the better one later, but I don't think we can kill enough things. I think we need enemy phase to give us enough kills to get Daisaku up to the morale we need. Yeah. Die. I do love. Actually, is this thing called the die? I do love this thing so much. It's so silly looking. It's such like old school, designed around being this like really bizarre profile of a toy. It's a lot of fun. Okay, then yeah, we can then have Daisaku kill the die. It is called the die, yeah. We can get Ginrei down to come PL him then after this. Okay, what are you doing? You have no post movement attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we are just out of range of it here. I guess let's move down one space. I just don't want. I wanted Theoretically, it's going to keep moving, but I'm worried if we put the Genrai Robo in range, it would choose to attack her instead. The Sakis are pretty low. The Genovas are like largely 6k is still a lot of HP. I think we're still heading over to this side though. Oh, this is a post-movement map attack. Oh, I found the downside that there is so few post-movement attacks on this thing that are not one range. That's fine. We'll use this map attack because we want to show this off anyway too. Yep. Okay. Daisaku needs how much morale? Yeah, he needs 13. Seems unlikely we're getting there. So it's so weird. I wonder why they had to program it this way to put him on the left. I remember seeing this attack a lot when I was playing the first like 4 or 5 maps of OGs. I feel like there's a lot of the Huckabin shooting like small disc out with like various levels of laser around it. Alright, great. That's fine. Yes, we don't need to see these animations. We have seen them already. Let's punch their faces in. I would like to take a hit just to see how much damage we do. That would be pretty cool. Or how much damage we take. If I recall correctly, the amount of armor we have is significant enough that we should be taking mostly nothing. Okay. Ooh, interesting. This is fine. The Genrai Robo can... She also can perform combat, which is like why she is a good healer. Or why she is a good unit in that she can heal and also perform combat. Okay. Not exactly how we drew those up. Totally fine. You are at 119. So, as long as we kill a thing... we can't transform here because the tiger form can't fly. You know what? I think we stay here, kill one of the Sakis instead. Yeah, because the Genova we know are already attacking us, so we may as well like let those happen during enemy phase. Daisaku should now be at 120. Now he is at 130. That's 100% hit. Okay, we're good. Then here's a Valor. Come here. Punch this. Unfortunately, it is in a forest now, so this actually might not do enough, but we'll see. We did get 2 upgrades in the form of more damage, and also we're now using our better damage stat, so we'll see. I don't remember if forests give 30 in this game or not. Like, in the old games, forests gave 30%. This map also makes it look like it's a forest. Maybe it's just like a regular woods. Yeah, no, we're good. That was just a one-shot. Okay, cool. Yeah. The difference between the melee and ranged of Daisaku is like night and day. Maybe I was underestimating how much of a difference it was. I'm also like not really fully clocking how high of a level Daisaku is. He was at such a low level for a while. Another good defensive armor. Oh, never mind. His melee, his range is also keeping up with his melee. My mistake. He just has very high melee. Not as high as like someone like Sho, but... Oh. This also just wasn't terrain. That's also definitely why. That definitely helped. Okay. For some reason, despite the fact that like 3/4 of that art was grass, or was tree, No, it in fact was not terrain. Okay, that's fine. Curious to see where the Huckabin will go now. Will it start moving or is it just gonna sit in place? Okay, that's fine. You're dead next turn, Ghoul. Take this out. This Genova is also going to go. We're also getting like real cash from this again, which is nice to make up for all the money we've just recently wasted. It's fine. This game is not hard enough to warrant needing it. This is fine. Oh, I guess, sorry, actually, we should be showing this off. We have not gotten to see the Ginrai Type 2 yet in combat. We should actually show those. Let's see it. The on the map sprite looks very good. This one looks a little weird. Something is not right here to me, I don't think. So stupid looking. They're too long. They're so much longer than her body. Where did those come from? I know that's the joke. But also, like, when on your life does your healer do this much damage? Like, everything is so juiced. It helps. The formulas definitely help this, but I'm glad that they made Ginrai actually be a combat unit. I'm like so sick of all of the like super femme coded robots always needing to have healing. But like, being a healer, getting like HP, getting HP restore as like a side bonus, as like a thing she can also do, is totally fine by me as long as she can like actually perform combat, and she sure seems to be. Oh, because of our level up, Kusuha also has soul now. Great. And they have a 2% chance to hit us. What is this robot? I would not be like. I'm not upset, obviously. Oh, the Ghoul has so little HP. This is so unnecessary. I do think a game that has this kind of thing, has like this level of power to its characters, has some legs. If only we could get some like more difficult scenarios. I know someone at some point in my chat had said that there was like an RPG maker, but for Super Robot Wars games. If someone could link that to me, I will be eternally grateful. I think what might need to happen is I might just need to make some of these myself. Just make a game that like actually fits what I want. Like give us some like actually like really dramatic design. Or at the very least I could experiment with it. That'll be like a 10 years away project. We did 40,000 damage. Good gracious. Incredible. I don't think we get the lines on what Brocken says when he dies. Yeah, just that we'll rue the day. They'll still defeat us at some point. Woo. They're such disappointing threats in this game. Yeah, sure. Hit us with another one. This feels like such a big jump, which I don't mind, right? Like we identified this as like the 2/3 mark. Like I'm glad that they're handing us some like make sure that you can like complete the game kind of deals. But I don't think we've seen this yet, so let's take a look at it. The attacks on this thing are so cool looking. Maybe y'all are selling me a little bit more on the attack animations. I'll probably never be someone that keeps them on all the time, but yeah, I do appreciate how much this is like, it is quite original, right? These elements are very similar to a lot of very familiar qualities, like the dragon and the tiger. Like I said, they are like 2 of the 4 conventional directional animals of Chinese mythology. And a lot of things take inspiration from them, not just like mech design. Like there's some elements of Raijin O here. The like feathers on the wings are like very similar to like the Wing Zero. The cat on the chest. There's so many of those. right? There's a lot of familiar design elements, but it still feels fresh, it still feels new, and it still feels quintessentially this game, like Super Robot Wars, right? Like that, like it obviously it's designed to look similar to the Grungest, but like it still looks like a thing that's like, oh yeah, no, I believe that's a Super Robot Wars original. I'm not mistaking it for a different series. And I think that's good, right? They've not tried to like supplant themselves into the minds of people who know robots so much that you mistake it, right? It still has its own identity, and it's still like it still is a shared identity, despite the fact that this world needs to support both supers and reals in its like own art design. Erm then sort of locks in what we said before about like, you know, it's okay if things did not quite work out in the past. You're allowed to like move past that. You can fight together now. He does feel regretful that he did not stop Ingram sooner, such that this reunion could have happened a long time ago. But it's like good that it happened now. Our Chief Robert here, or no, sorry, the Chief and Robert here. Gracious, I've been going for a bit. I'm starting to get tongue tied. The Chief and Robert and the rest of Big Fire are all talking about the new revelation of these new mechs, and that everyone is pretty relieved that it seems like the Ryuko, yeah, is like psychically tied to Brooklyn and Kusuha, such that like this is all of the, just by existing, the plans of Dr. Hell and Big Fire are foiled because like they can't really take control of them without our characters. And like it, I think the implication being that even if they are like mind controlled or like taken under duress, that things will not work. Like they need to have to want to fight with us, right? Before we get to this choice, let's finish up with the previous section. Now that we are also like at full power, and Robert and Eddie's research can like come to fruition, they are going to scrap the Grungest 3 and use its parts to also enhance the Ryuko to make it even better than it already is. So I wonder what else we're going to be able to do with this thing, because this already seems like a beast. Some of the experts question whether that is a good idea, considering things are working right now. Like, let's not rock the boat. But they like the robots seem acquiescent to this change because they want to fight with us. Like they're choosing to fight with us and aren't being forced to. So that suggests then that, you know, they seem amenable to the idea of being able to like change or adapt to help with that fight. Okay, so we get back to the room. We get back to our rooms. We can now talk to Kusuha after not speaking to her for a while. It feels a little callous to just be like, tell me about the SRX project then. But I was gonna say, for the sake of putting it on the screen, but like there's not much difference, and we're also gonna skip dialogue. But like I have the text here. So I'm kind of tempted to choose the one that I don't have text for, so we can still talk about the text and just sort of see both. Let's do this. I also feel like I've tried to play Brooklyn a little. I've like tried to like think about Brooklyn as like a role playing a beat. Oh boy. I've tried to think of role playing a little bit as Brooklyn when we don't have like really clear or obvious choices. And it feels pretty callous to be like, hi, I thought you were dead. Could you tell me about this project now? But if we do ask, our SO does not. Sorry, I also apologize. I keep switching back and forth because the text is switching back and forth, and like this does not seem tied to Kusuha specifically. This seems tied. This is just like, and like regardless of who you picked as your pilot and who your partner would be, they would tell you the same thing. The T-Link does effectively two things. Once it's at full power, it makes the person stop being a person. They're gonna like they sort of lose their minds, as so many of the like pseudo magic systems of Super Robot or of these like robot shows do. But it is also designed to draw others with related powers to them and then draw out those powers from other people too. So it's like sort of a self-replicating system to like get people to buy into this like full power psychic energy. And then I guess also the feedback loop of getting the origin of the T-Link to keep fighting stronger enemies, thus trying to push them closer and closer to like tipping over that threshold of like stopping being a person and like just going into like all fight mode. The two reminisce or question like basically everything about themselves. because if this whole deal was designed by Ingram to like turn them into weapons of war, like they have no memories of their past. Like, is anything about what they believe to be themselves and each other to be true? Like, is their relationship fabricated because the T-Link is drawing them together to try and like refine them? Is it like steel sharpening steel kind of deal? But Brooklyn asks Kusuha to fight with him, which I appreciate. I appreciate that we take the moment to be like, hi, theoretically you'd want to. We've both been put in a situation where we need each other to fight. You're my partner, so it would be assumed that you would fight with me. But like, let's be deliberate here. I want to give you the power to choose right now, seeing as we've not had that power before. Like, please, like, make a decision if you want to do this with me. And I think that's like good. I mean, it's obviously healthy of them to do that, but it's also like, I'm glad to see that the game is taking that perspective. I think it'd be very easy to sort of like hand wave this away as like fantasy magic power. Obviously, everyone wants the power to fight. Isn't it so cool that we have powers now? But like, I appreciate that we're taking the time to like actually reflect on the fact that like, you know, if these two were raised to be super soldiers by a man we know actively backstabs literally everybody to get his way, and like, especially for a partnership, right? Like, what does anything mean? I also accept this as like a justification for why we don't know a little bit more about Brooklyn's past, that all of these are sort of hazy memories and could all be fabricated anyway. So actually having more details is just like, why does that matter? It's just as easy to be like, well, they sort of made them up to make the past seem like the past, which we could still play out, and we could like maybe see some inconsistencies in some of his past history. But given the fact that all of these are like, we're sort of bioengineered, maybe it is okay that we don't know more about Brooklyn before now. And then we conclude on this little arc with Daisaku. He did not realize that Big Fire was trying to capture Giant Robo, which is just not correct. That's a weird thing to think. We know that they were trying to do before, but that was actually the reason why Giant Robo was they were going to try and like seal it up. He apologizes for like going like disobeying orders, and the rest of the team is like, no, it's like fine, like you protected us, like we would have died without you, like we needed you to protect us. And the chief's like, no, you're right, you deserve punishment for that. You disobeyed orders, there should be consequences. And he expels Daisaku from the experts, and then our two best boys are like, no, I don't, we should be punished. Or sorry, no, actually Taisho says that he and Tetsugyu should be punished too. Tetsugyu is like, I don't know about that, but that they let Big Fire in also, like they like, is that not more of a consequence? Like, is that not also equally consequential as what Daisaku did? And the chief is like, no, hold on. I'm going to say this very specifically. Daisaku, you are now no longer a member of the experts. You do not follow any of our orders. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And everyone's like, oh, no, I get it. So Daisaku can, and Daisaku can go with Londo Bell and do whatever he sees fit. Like, he clearly has his own sense of justice and clearly can, like, protect it and stand up to it. So, like, why should we try to stop him? Like, he clearly can take care of himself. And then Ginrei is ordered to protect Daisaku, seeing as Daisaku now doesn't have the direct protection of being part of the team. Someone needs to be around to keep him safe. And just like, it's the very cute sort of like using the rules to bend the rules kind of attitude that, like, whenever we have a very systemic driven power, like a systemic driven organization on the good side of things, we need to do to demonstrate that they're not like all bad, or that like there's a value in breaking systems, that we like want the individual to rebel and like take actions that are meaningful to them, you know? Okay, cool. That was so fun. I'm so happy with our new mech. Sorry for scrubbing out there a little bit with the Psybuster play. That one was definitely sloppy on my part, but it's fine. We can sacrifice money anyway. Look at that jump in levels we leveled up. We got almost 11 levels. We got 9 levels in that mission. We got 9 levels. Also, sorry, I thought we had, I said last time I thought we had 44 expert points. No, we have 41 expert points. We were on scenario 44 when I had, like, the thing that I was referencing in my head. So yeah, we finished scenario 46. We have 41 expert points. We still need to get a couple more, but we still have a third of the game left to get 5. We'll be fine. We are going to save this money again. we want to still put that into the Daikuken. We are one page away, or we are one step away. Oh, lame. These only have 2 parts. Okay, I'm gonna worry about parting people up until we get. No, that's not true. Let's put some parts on. Let's get some extra movement, and oh, it only gets 1 part if both of them are wearing it, right? Oh, I see. Right, I forgot how this game works. Okay, so the combined form, the Koryu-o and the Ryuko-o and the Koryu-o get 1 part. Then each of their other bits can have their own individual parts. I don't think we need the defense. I think that's overkill. There are no energy parts in this game, or at least we don't have any yet. So I think we're just going to give it movement to actually make sure we can get around to get kills. Then each individual we're going to give... we actually don't need to give the dragon form something. We want to give it to the tiger form because we're going to want to use the dragon form when we recombine. Do we have increased range? Yes, this adds like 1 extra range to her attacks, which probably will matter. Ginrei Robo, you should have some extra movement. And the Psy Buster, we're going to give just absolute max mobility stuff right now. Clearly we need that. And Giant Robo, how about we make you the tankiest boy that there ever was? That works. Okay, cool. I think it should be good for now. We are obviously going to like reorganize. Like that's obviously not going to be how they're going to stay once we get the team back. But weird who is leaving and when they are leaving. But that will be a problem for a future mission. Oh, I keep not doing this. I want to be better about like calling out the names of scenarios too. Like when I think of other tactics games, I feel like people talk about like, oh, this scenario named this, or like being able to say the number, is really helpful in discussing like the type of missions. We got to say, I've got to do better about this. So next mission is scenario 47, a man's fight. We are now back to the main route, which we're going to stay with for a little bit. Yeah, we got a couple of missions with the main route then. But that will be next time. I don't know how long this video is actually going to be because we had 2 of these together, but I know I paused a lot to like read story, so I think this is still going to be a pretty nippy episode in terms of time. So thank you for sticking around for another 2-parter. I feel like we're probably going to have a couple more of those before we get to the end of things because just like needing to story introduce stuff is like always such a short mission. I hope you've enjoyed your time. I'm glad to be back to these. Just as a reminder, we're only going to be doing 1 of these a week now. There's never going to be a week where 2 of them are going to be releasing. So you can always expect alpha or whatever our pre-recorded is going to be on Wednesday. But we're wrapping up thing. We're not wrapping up. We're 2/3 of the way through. So we're certainly getting there. I'm looking forward to seeing how this story concludes. We're definitely starting to pay some stuff off. I hope that we're going to mostly get all of our loose ends tied up and then leave a couple of them to go into Gaiden. I think Gaiden's next, right? I think it's Alpha, Gaiden, Alpha 2, Alpha 3. Maybe Gaiden is after 2, I don't remember. That's fine, it's fine. Just whatever one we're going into next. I hope there's a couple of loose ends to get us there. But those are my thoughts so far. As far as the rest of my schedule, if you're watching this the day it comes out, you can catch me streaming tomorrow and the next day. Those are Thursday and Friday, which are going to be our main video now, or our main episode now. We are just gonna start OG's Saga on Thursday and Friday. It'll be the first 2 episodes of that. I'm very excited for that too. I promise they're a little bit harder, so I'm going to need to be a little bit crunchier, maybe a little bit less time talking to chat. We'll see. But if you'd like to like come and sit and watch me just crunch some numbers, it'll be a good time. I'm very excited for them. We'll be playing them in English so we can talk about story stuff too. And if you're interested about the handheld versions separately as OG1 and OG2, I'm going to be playing those on my own. They are, and I'll talk about them the next time. So like, well, we're going to play missions on Thursday and Friday. I will then, between next Thursday and Friday, play those on my own so we can talk about them. The Discord should be up and running very shortly, so that's why we're not doing any book club yet. I would like to not have that get divided between Patreon and Discord. I want to have that all in one place as just like a proof positive the first time we're doing it. So we'll hold on that until next week. But other than that, that is the rest of the week for me. Thank you all so much for being here in whatever capacity you are. I'm really glad that you all have stuck with me, especially given I was away for a little bit. But I'll leave you here. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Make me know the rest of your day. Hopefully I will see you in a future stream, and otherwise I will see you out in the stars.